Hello, everybody, and welcome to our live feed update show for week 3 of the live feeds. We have to talk HOH. We have to talk everything going into the Noms and the P to the O to the V. So excited to have all of you here, and we're going to try and do this fairly quickly. I mean, not fairly quickly, but you know how we do. So, for those of you that are new, make sure that you follow, like, and subscribe. We really appreciate it wherever you guys are watching from. Make sure that you follow, like, and subscribe, and of course share the show to let people know that we are live, or in the future if you think anyone needs a little catching up on the live feeds and what's been going down. Well, then share the show with them, and of course if you have any questions, you can tweet me them at YRR Just use the hashtag wherever you are watching. I have wonderful news. I don't know if I said it in the last show. However, we got the website released back to us, so I am trying my darndest to get it all back up and running by Monday. We're going to see how it goes, but we have it back, and, it seems to be good, so there's that. Yay! Things are picking up and getting good. That being said, let's jump in to what you guys have missed. Now, we talked a little bit about it on the Hangout, or we talked a lot of it on the Hangout yesterday. So again, if you don't come to the Hangout shows, you should, because sometimes they turn into just full-blown, BB feed chats, as do the Twitch shows. But here is where we last left off, if you're just, watching the TV shows. We saw an X and Xavier winning that HOH, as our friend Tim from Canada would say. Oh, I miss him. And then I'm already angry. If we're going to start with the things that I am angry about, as we do and we all love, I am angry about the way these HOHs are being run. I am not a fan of we play an HOH on a Thursday night, and then we used to go into one-on-ones and strategy and gaming, and they don't really do that. They do more of we're tired, we put in a full day. We did our Big Blue Couch improv show, and some of us were on slop, and others of us played with a fan in bed, and, now we're not gonna talk yet. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow. And originally I thought this was great, because it is annoying to have to stay up, sometimes to 4, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning to make sure you don't miss all of that feed talk. Or you could just rewind and watch it back the next day at your leisure. However, I will say, the plus side of that was we did get a lot of good feeds yesterday and a little bit this morning as well. It really was good feeds with them, with the wild card comp and everything. So Xavier, knowing he has to stick with the plan that everyone came up with ahead of time, which was to nominate Brent and Whitney. And we know that all of them were very much like, who's going to be able to do it? A lot of people were wanting to throw that comp. I see Lost says, play with a fan in bed. I thought Frenchie went home. So when he was there with a Twitter follower of his, yeah, no. Has Frenchie showed up? Has he made his fake account yet? I don't know. I don't know if Frenchie's made his burner account yet. We know that in his interviews he said that he was taking some time off Twitter, but I don't, he has a burner account. We just have to figure out which one it is. Anyway, nobody really wanted to win. Xavier won. And now the plan seems to have changed a bit in Xavier's mind because he was one of the people who very much was on board with Brent and Whitney. And now that he is in power, he has decided to shift it more to Brent and Brittany, which we all know from watching the live feeds was going to crush our poor little Brittany. Is gonna just crush her because Xavier's up there making, the plans to do this, and Brittany is downstairs talking to Derek F and to Azza and being all, well, I can't go up again. I was already up. They would never do that to me. I cannot handle it. Oh, they wouldn't do that to me again. And we're like, oh, he's doing it to you again, girl. So, Xavier starts his one-on-ones. He is talking to people. And to give you the full scope of the Brett conversations, his plan, or Xavier's plan with Brent, very much was to be like, okay, I'm going to need you to help me get out the head of the Girls Alliance, which is clearly Brittany. You told me it was Brittany, right? Who do you think it is? And he's like, I think Brittany and Azza. Except they also do that stupid thing where the HOHs won't say names. They'll be like, that name that you said. I think you know who we're talking about. That person, yes. This is the stupidest shit I've ever seen. And if you are in a future season of Big Brother, please don't do this. It's not cute. It's not funny. It's just stupidly annoying for people like me that have to talk about the show. I'm sure it's even more annoying for the editors. And by the way, what is the point? So that you can argue semantics later and go, I never said your name. Yeah, you're saying everything, but say the fucking name. Just say the name. It is very annoying. So that is number one. Please do it just to annoy Eric. Do not do it just to annoy Eric. No. Okay, so he is talking to Brent and he's like, so what are the names? And Brent is kind of like, ooh, Azza, ooh, Brittany. Brittany's the head of the Girls Alliance. So he's like, okay, Xavier says to Brent, I need you there. I need you by my side. I need you right next to me. Are you willing to help me? And then we can get Brittany out together. And he's like, yeah. Brent's like, yeah, sounds great. And Xavier's like, okay, wonderful. Pushes him out the door. Like, bye, 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 bye. And then Xavier goes, and I'm going to give you the full scope of the Brett situation, and then we'll backtrack. So right before it becomes time for Noms, okay, Brent comes back in, which Xavier lets him back in as a lawyer. Okay, you're a lawyer. You had your deniable plausibility to say that you were unaware that Brent didn't understand what you were saying. You stupidly let him back into your HOH room, and then Brent was kind of just like, so I want to be clear. Well, he did want to give Brent a little bit of a heads up. So, I mean, he wasn't really that stupid. It was his intention to give him a little bit of a heads up, but I still say that was a stupid idea. And then Brent finally got it and was like, wait, are you saying that when you want me by your side, you mean that I'm a nominee, not that you're going to pick me for POV? And Xavier is like, it's an option. And then Brent is like, oh, is it an option? Then let me tell you what your options are. I'm going to take my whole entire team and we're going to murder everyone in the house. And you know this thing that we built, this beautiful this beautiful house of cards? I'm going to burn it the fuck down, okay? Okay, I'm gonna have my people on the outside whack everyone in your family. See, I'm mafia, okay? I don't know if you could tell by how Italian I am and how I talk like this, but he all but just threatened Xavier and was like, I am not okay with this. You are creating a line in the sand. You are causing war. You are going to lose my team. This is the stupidest move. Every single thing we built is over if you do this. And Xavier's like, cool, cool, cool. Well, we'll chat after, right, bud? Again, don't know why Xavier felt the need to give him any sort of a heads up in this scenario or situation. So there's that. Number two, so now to like backtrack, more people are coming in and we get an Azza. And Xavier, feeling loyalty to Azza because of the cookout, because of all that, Xavier wants to be honest with Azza. And he's like, look, you're gonna have one of your teammates up there. I have to put Brittany up there. He named two people that he felt were the head of the Girls Alliance or that he didn't trust. And in order for me to enact, carry out my plan of making Brett feel like someone else is the target and he is the pawn on the block to help me, I have to put one of those two people up. And Azza is like, well, who is he naming? And he's like, they're the girls from your team. And she's like, so Brittany? And he's like, yeah. And then she's like, so who's the other girl on my team? He's like, the other girl on your team. And she's like, me? And then my favorite thing that Azza does, by the way, is when she says, bruh. She's like, come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. What you doing, bruh? Come on, bruh. Oh, come on. Come on, bruh. I love it. It's my most favorite thing that comes out of her mouth. Like, I love it. And she was the only one that really gave the pushback to Xavier. She's like, this is stupid. There are so many other people. There are so many other options you have. What about a Claire? What about a Tiffany? And we'll get to, I know I should have talked about the wildcard comp first. This is all out of order. Whatever. We're just doing the Noms part first. So, she's like, what about any of those other people? And he's like, no, he only gave two names, Brittany and you. Again, in order for him to feel comfortable, this is the way I have to do it. And Azza was like losing her mind. She's like, then put me up. Then put me up. I'm not doing that to Brittany again. If I have to listen to this girl cry like a broken record over and over, I can't do it. I can't watch it. So just put me up. If it's all the same, put me up. And Azza like gets up to leave. And Xavier's like, sit down, sit down, sit down. And she's like, what? You're talking, I'm talking. You're not going to change your mind. I'm not going to change my mind. This is pointless. I told you what I want. Do it or don't do it. And Xavier's like, I don't think you know the way this game works. And she's like, and I think you're a coward. And he's like, I'm not afraid of no man but my daddy. And then I was like, who's your daddy? But I was like, you kind of are scared. I mean, I don't think that it's necessarily that Xavier is scared. I just think he's not that close with Brittany. He is not willing to. So, I mean, I guess in a way he is scared because Oz's whole point was put up Brent and Whitney. That is what you said you were doing. You said you were putting up Brent. You said you were putting up Whitney. So why are you not putting up Brent and Whitney? You want one of those two gone. They're both on the same exact team. Get them out. You don't get one. You get the other one. Problem solved. Game over. Why are you splitting up one person from one alliance and another alliance? You know who did that? Frenchie. You know how that week went? Miserably. And and Xavier's like, that's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to avoid a Frenchie week. And Oz is like, I don't buy it, bruh. You're trying to avoid a Frenchie week by doing the exact shit that Frenchie did? Doesn't make sense. Look at Kylan's week. He put the two people up that were the targets, kept everything out on the table, and we all had a smooth sailing, boring live feeds week. So I don't know why you're doing it this way. Probably because production was like, can you do it this way? Because last week our ratings went down because, it was a real snoozer of a week. It was Frenchie and it was still a snoozer of a week because you all play that big blue stupid ass couch game. And she was like, I'm just going to go. You do what you want. Thank you for letting me know your plan. I get it. Brittany's not the target, but it doesn't matter. You're going to do what you want. I'm telling you, put me up. And he's like, I'm not putting you up. The cookout, us being 6 people of color, us all wanting to be in, be the final 6 of this game together. I'm not doing that to you. So sorry. She's like, whatever. She goes downstairs. Derek F comes, in, and he's just like, what happened? And she's like, I'm not talking. And he's like, come on, tell me what happened. I'm not talking about it. You can go have your one on one with him and then we can talk about it, but I am not talking about it. Which I gotta say is not good for Oz's game. How emotional Ozza is being, and by the way, everyone in the house is noticing it. Ozza is not talking to Brent. Ozza's visibly in a bad mood, and a lot of people in the house have been noticing it. I don't think it's good for her long term game. Um, on top of that, Brittany, I realized how I so should have talked about the wild card first. But Brittany goes up to the HOH room and Xavier just handles this so poorly with Brittany. Again, he already knows that Brittany is upset, and so upset because from what we know from the retells of the wild card competition, okay, um, it was Derek X playing, Tiffany playing, Brent playing, and who was the fourth person? Derek X, Tiffany, Brittany, and Brent. That is four people. Eric, you can count. Uh, and basically, Tiffany went to Brittany beforehand. Wait, Brent wasn't playing? I thought he was playing. I thought Brent was playing in it. Brent wasn't the fourth person playing? Oh, that's right. He played last week. Who was the fourth person playing? Tiffany, Derek. There were only three playing? Why were there only three playing? There's four teams. Am I losing my mind right now? Oh, because the team that won is safe. Wow. It's been a rough week. It's been a rough week. I'm an idiot. Okay, so Tiffany, Derek X, and this is why I have no short-term memory. Tiffany, Derek X, and Brittany are all the ones playing. Tiffany went to Brittany beforehand and said, "Hey, we need to team up to get Derek X out," which was not great on Tiffany's part. Then, from again, what we get from the retells, while they were playing, it very much seemed like Tiffany and Derek X ganged up on Brittany, which caused Brittany to be out, Tiffany to win the wild card comp. We don't know what she was offered, but we know that there was some secondary comp set up for her to compete in if she took the offer. However, she did not accept the offer, so that's moot. But then when the feeds come back now from that wild card comp, we see a crying Brittany, an angry Ozza, an angry Derek F, because Derek F, while watching, was apparently calling out Tiffany, and Derek X saying, "Why are you guys ganging up on Brittany? Why are you guys ganging up on my team?" So the reason that Brittany and Ozza are upset already before the one-on-ones are happening are because they feel like they are being left out of the loop and that their team is being targeted. Um, so Brittany is very upset about this. She cannot handle going on the block again. This cannot happen. Yada yada yada. So now when Brittany goes, so by the way, so the point being, that was why Ozza was upset when she went up to talk to Derek in their one-on-one now about Noms, because she feels like we're being left out of the loop. We're not being, I get what you're saying, but it doesn't make sense. So now Brittany goes up. And here's the thing that was shocking to all of us watching it live. Brittany's handling it beautifully. Ozza was the one that was in there and she was annoyed and being kind of combative with Xavier. And Brittany's just up there, cool as a freaking cucumber. Hey, what's going on, guys? All right, all right. So, yo, what are you gonna do? Oh, you know who your targets are? What do you want the targets to be? Oh, I don't know what I want the targets to be. It's cool. Whatever happens, happens. Yada yada yada. Um, Thank you so much, Boston Cindy. Thank you. So she's doing all of this. And I don't really feel that Xavier went about it well. Xavier knows already from Azza that Brittany is not going to handle it well. He knows from other people that have come through that Brittany is clearly upset. And the way Xavier goes about it with Brittany is he kind of fills her in a little. He's just like, so, here's the thing. Brent is the target. You know Brent is the target, Brittany, right? And Brittany's like, yes, of course, he's the target. He's like, well, he threw out 2 names of people that he didn't trust. So in order for him to feel safe, I got to put one of those people up on the block against him. And then the whole house, we're all going to work together to keep it one big secret. So anyway, that's why I'm going to put you on the block. So it'll be you versus Brent. And then obviously you're safe. And he just like talks over it like it's no big deal. Now, here's the thing. Xavier is not clueless. You're aware the way Brittany reacts to things. I don't understand why this is the way that Xavier decided to go about this with Brittany. I feel he needed to have more of a heart-to-heart with her. He needed to be like, look, I know you are upset. I know that this is not fair, but there are only 2 people that can make this plan work. You and Azza. And I need you. I need your help. I need you on my team. He needed to show her that she was needed and then support her and build her up if he did not want the meltdowns that were going to come. But go figure, he's a lawyer. So, he's just operating on facts and principle and information, process it or don't, I don't care. So he's not really a sensitive one, and he doesn't necessarily want to deal with a sensitive player. Him and Tiffany bonded and talked a little bit too, and they were like, look, we don't have time for an emotional player. We don't. This is not an emotional game. This isn't a game where emotional people go far. You have to make hard decisions. And if this is too emotional for Brittany, or not for nothing, even Azza, because, she is kind of giving Tiffany a little bit of an attitude, then, it's something we have to think about. Not something we're going to think about until after the final 6, because we need to keep the cookout together. But after that happens, it might be something that we need to look into. So, a lot of emotions and non-emotions coming out of the, HOH room in these one-on-ones. As is my sweet, stupid Christian. My favorite part was when Christian, I don't remember if it was when he walked into the one-on-one. It really doesn't matter. All of Christian's conversations are literally like this. Oh my God, something shiny. Ooh. Ah. Oh, what did you say? Yeah. Ooh. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. What? Oh, I gotta go find Alyssa. I mean, that's all he does. Anyway, I think when he walked into the HOH room, he walks in and then he's like, ooh, an ant, and then proceeds to step as if he's killing an ant that's 5 feet away from him. Let me tell you, I don't care how good your young eyes are. You didn't open the door and see a single ant on the floor and then decide to watch it. There's just. You know how I say I always like them dumb and hot? I think I'm figuring out where my dumb line is. There's a threshold of dumb that you can be before I'm like, oh, you're losing the hot. You've crossed too far into dumb. Anyway, I could see Tiffany inadvertently getting Azza out. She won't do it. She'll have someone like a Christian get her out. 100%. Tiffany is there. We're seeing the cracks in the cookout now because these things aren't going to go away. Even if they come together and, have these disagreements and then get back together, those cracks and fractures are still there. And here's the thing. Up into jury, I think everybody's playing for funsies. Everybody's trying to lay low. The game just started. They're learning about being on television. This is all just fun to everyone. For the most part. Yes, there are clearly people gaming. But in general, I don't think the sense of the money becomes a thing until jury. And once jury starts, I don't think, and I hope that I'm not even just saying it for the cookout. I'm saying it for any single alliance. I'm saying it for any final two. I'm saying it for anybody in any group on any season. When that money starts to become within your grasp, you are going to choose things that are the best for your game, not your group. Not your team, not your group, not your other final two person. People will start making the moves that are best for their games to get them to the end. And I think once jury starts, it becomes more real. So yeah, do I think that Tiffany will take out Ozzy? I think Tiffany would take out any single person who was in her way to winning. I think she would prefer if someone else did it. Do I think she's gonna do it now? No. The cookout just wants jury, not six. I think it depends which cookout member you're talking to. Some of them say they are just trying to make it to jury. Others say they want the last six people standing, and the winner, obviously, to all be people of color, which, so do I. I think it would be great. I mean, who would. I mean, eh, I feel like I, as of now, would like a Claire to kind of go further. Um, I would love a Claire. I think Claire is going to be a good gamer. I would hate for her to get out early. Um, Derek, Sarah Beth. So there's some of those people, like, not for nothing. Derek F can go. Derek F can go. He's not really adding anything for me. Um so there are people that I hope make it further, but it is what it is. We talked about this more, or we got more into this when we did it as the hangout, in the sense of this is an interesting season where the balances of power have been more mixed, and it has been refreshing and great to kind of see not the issues of past seasons plaguing this cast, and it becoming more of what we've seen a little bit this week of, we need a man out versus a woman out, or a woman out versus a man out. So it's interesting to see how, when things get more balanced in regards to like ethnicity, is that then it sort of goes back to, okay, let's go back more fundamentally, men versus women. We don't want all the women here, and the women are in groups. It's all just, it's all very fascinating to me. But I know a lot of you say that you see Derek F getting dragged to the end. I do not. I do not see him getting dragged to the end. And I don't see him doing anything that he says either. He's a lot of talk of threatening to blow up the house, threatening to cause all of these issues. If anybody comes for my team, if anybody comes for me, you guys better watch out. I am not going to be quiet. I'm going to go after people. There is going to be such a problem. Everybody wants to look out for me. Blah, blah. I'm going to do all that. Meanwhile, Brittany gets nominated last week. Crickets from Derek. Brittany is literally targeted, and Derek's whole, thing that he's going to do consisted of, why are you targeting her? And then he rolled over. Brittany gets nominated again. He's like, oh, that's bad. I'm gonna need you to calm down a little bit. Calm down. Calm down, girl. I know you're up, and I know I said I would flip out, but you're crying. Got calm it down. Ooh, look at Derek going crazy on everybody. So I'm just like, Derek's all talk. Derek is all talk. I think he wants his reputation to be scary to people in the house. And in some cases it is. There are definitely some people that are like, we don't want to piss off Derek. He's going to get really upset if we do. So in some cases it is working, but I think for the most part, Derek F is kind of all talk for the most part. But he does clean. Sure, he does clean, sure. Okay. So we then come back from Noms and we find out, sure enough, Brent is nominated, as is Brittany, which was the plan. And of course, Brittany is, obviously upset and crying, as, I will interject it here again, because I feel like I interject it when we're just doing our hangout shows. I think people need to remember with Brittany that, she is on the spectrum, she is autistic, and I just think the way she processes things are different. So, I mean, that is a fact. And I think, if the house necessarily doesn't know, we can't expect them to be as understanding, but I feel us on the outside looking in should be a little bit more understanding. Yes, I get it. It is annoying. I don't want to watch anybody crying. And if you can't handle being on the block, I don't know, you shouldn't be there. But I don't know that that's on Brittany. That's on the show. That's on the people that cleared her medically. That's on a lot of those people. That's not on Brittany to have to defend the way she processes emotions differently than some of us would do because she is on the spectrum. So there's just that. But I mean, we have to talk about her as a person in the game. And yes, her crying is annoying to the other people in the house. We see Derek F talking to Xavier being like, please don't do this to me another week. Derek F who is going to flip out. So his flipping out involves whining to Xavier about how now he's going to have to listen to Brittany cry all week. And Brittany, and here's the thing about Brittany, and I hope that she is able to process things through. I'm afraid for Brittany when she's actually the target, because she gets really, really upset if you watch the live feeds, and she is not the target. And she has everyone assuring her she's not the target. And she watched it happen last week, and yet she's still this distraught. I sincerely worry for her going forward when she actually is the target. So I don't know what is being done to help her there. And God forbid she loses this POV. Like, if she loses this POV, there's going to be no consoling her at all. And I get it. And I don't even want to open this can of worms. Okay, so now since this has happened, right? Now Xavier has to go talk to Brittany. And he's like, Brittany, I am so sorry. You're not the target. And Brittany's like, just promise me that she won't go up. Oh, because Xavier told Brittany that Azza offered to go up for her. To which, by the way, Brittany didn't really fight for her to go up instead of Azza. Which, you know what? As ye shouldn't. it is an individual game and there's only one winner. And if Azza wants to risk her own game for Brittany, that's just bad gameplay on Azza's part, honestly. So Brittany was like, please just don't tell me that you're going to put Azza up if someone wins the POV. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do it. And she's like, and you're going to take me off if you win the POV? And he's like, we'll talk about it. And it is kind of hard to know what Xavier really wants to do. There were moments before where I really felt like 100% Xavier wants the POV used. He wants the end game to be having Whitney up there so that it is a Brent or a Whitney that goes home. However, Whitney has really played these past 2 days off brilliantly. And it's not playing them off, to be honest. I have said this all along. The house perceives Whitney and Brent to be this duo, almost showmance, whereas Whitney can't really stand Brent. And she doesn't want anything to do with them. It's the house that is pushing them together and making it be a thing. Where, cut to, Christian and Alyssa are literally making out in the HOH bed that Xavier walked in on. And Xavier has a crush on Alyssa. So now Xavier walked in on Christian and Alyssa making out in his bed. So there's that. Christian also looks very lippy. So it's like, I don't know. My Christian stock's going down, is what I'm saying. He's losing it for me. Anyway, so he is, telling this stuff to Brittany and I'm sorry, Whitney. Going back to Whitney. Whitney has played it very well. Whitney has expressed to people, I want Brent gone. I do not want to work with Brent. I do not want Brent in this house. I do not like him. Xavier, I will do whatever you want. You tell me, I will do it. I do not want him here. There were times when Whitney found herself in a room with Tiffany, which I think was yesterday, more towards the evening. And she flat out said to, Tiffany was like, I don't really talk game with you, Whitney, or you really don't talk game to me, Whitney, so I don't know where we stand. And Whitney was like, well, there was a girl alliance that I was excluded from, so why would I talk to any of the girls? And then Tiffany had to explain to Whitney, Frenchie made that up. None of us took it seriously. We never had a meeting. It's not even a thing. I don't understand why Brittany keeps getting pinned as the head of this girl alliance. That was something Frenchie made up. That was never even really a thing. So Whitney has done a good job of explaining to the girls why she hasn't really been close with them and explaining how she doesn't like Brent or isn't that close with Brent. She has done a good job with Xavier and the guys and those people to let them know, no, I want Brent gone. So I feel like Whitney has at least not allowed people to so much continue the conversation that she's this duo with Brent. And I agree, Whitney switches really quickly. However, she was never as close with Brent as people perceived them to be. I think a lot of it was made up, in people's heads. Okay, so Xavier ends up leaving Brittany, kind of having her, being emotional and crying, and I can't do this again in another week, but just promise me that the POV, if it's one, you'll use it, you'll take me off, promise me. And Xavier does not promise her, although she goes on to tell everyone that Xavier promised her, and then Xavier in every conversation with other people has to be like, I never told her that I would use it on her if I wanted it. or I never told her what I'm doing. I never told anyone what I'm doing. Then he goes and talks to Brent. And Brent is very much like, well, you declared war and I'm not an idiot. And now, none of this was like the arguing nastiness that we have seen in previous seasons of Big Brother. And here is also my fear. Here's my fear. I feel like this is the new era of Big Brother where everyone that plays now understands the social aspect of the game, where you can't really blow up at another person. You need to have people on your side until the last second. There's always hope. So if I blow up or flip out or do any of this stuff on another person, I'm just cutting off my own paths to saving myself. And I feel like everyone is knowing this now, and it's why we never get the lines in the sand, this side of the house versus that side of the house. You know, it just seems different. Because my point is, Brent and Xavier sitting down having this conversation now after is basically very calm. It's very much Brent going, I'm not an idiot. There's no way I'm the pawn. You have me and Brittany on the block. No one is going to send Brittany home when I am sitting on the block. I am a physical competitor, and I am the typical person that people are afraid of in this game. There is no way they're sending Brittany home over me. Also, we had an alliance. We had a plan. There is no logical reason you would risk our new alliance, me, everyone that we are working with, for what? Brittany? You could have very easily put Azah and Brittany on the block. It would have been done. You and I would have been great. We are now not great. You are not getting the votes from my team. I am now going to have to go against you. I am now going to have to fight to be here. I told you this would happen if you nominated me, and that's what's going to happen. And Xavier is very much just like, yeah, no, I get it. And there are many times where Brent is like, I just need you to admit that I'm not the pawn. And Xavier won't do it. He's like, you're not the pawn. I wanted you with me. I wanted you to battle, to help me go after Brittany. These were the people you said you felt threatened by. So I put you on the block with one of those people so we could fight together to go after them. Death to the Girls Alliance. And Brent is just like, I don't believe it. I mean, and he's right. If you ever wanted to know, for people that say they don't understand gaslighting, this is the perfect example of gaslighting. Brent is aware of what the reality of the situation is, and there's just somebody just utterly telling him anything but the truth, in spite of all of the facts being what Brent knows to be true. So it's kind of, it is funny to watch because they're totally able to hug it out. They're totally able to be fine. And it's just Brent basically threatening Xavier the whole time. And Xavier being like, I understand why you're mad. But it's not the case. And doesn't realize that this is going to be the reason Xavier uses after POV, if Brent does not win. All of this stuff that Brent is doing, going around talking to people, being like, this is what Xavier did, and we were supposed to be working together, and I told him not to put me up, but he put me up. You need me, Alyssa. You need me and my team to keep you safe. Without me and my team keeping you safe, you are in danger. Brent is going around. He's going to Derek and being like, oh, so the veto picks were, I'll get this wrong too, Derek F., Christian. So Xavier got house guest choice. He chose Christian. I forget who chose Derek F. Somebody, I believe, picked Derek F's name out. And now why, once again, am I blanking on who the third person is that's playing? Oh, Whitney. Whitney is playing. Correct. Whitney is playing. So those are the three people playing aside from Xavier and Brittany and Brent. So you would think seemingly good picks for Brent, but no, because the whole house has kind of come together and agreed to get Brent out. And it is hysterical. There were so many meetings of people yesterday having conversations about, like, mocking Brent, which I almost felt a little bit bad about, because he really thinks he has his team. He does not have his team. He doesn't have any of the girls. He has no one. He literally has no one. And he is walking around with such confidence that I can keep you safe next week and I have the numbers and this is what's going to happen. And every conversation he has with people, it's how I'm going to keep you safe. I know what to do. I got your back. You need me in this game. And none of it's true. And he has no clue. So I hope they give him some sort of an edit. And here's the thing. And this is where I know, like, that this is going to kind of be, I don't even know why I'm going for this unpopular opinion. You all know that I have said I think Brent is a douche. And I think he's misogynistic. And I want him to leave. And all of those things are true. However, when I watch him campaign, I can't help but think he at least is a little bit of the evolved version of what we've seen in the past. He's not there. He's not 100% there because he still doesn't get saying to Brittany, you'll never go home after me. I'm this perfect man and you're a woman, Brittany. You're not the threat. I'm the threat. He doesn't understand why saying that is offensive. He doesn't understand why telling people that I got my team and I'll do this and everything, like, he doesn't get that. However, he goes around, like, I feel like there's this battle in his head because there are moments where I do see him, I think, genuinely trying to console Brittany and not wanting her to be upset. And there is no gain for him in that with Brittany. He could just completely ignore Brittany. I feel like there's just this battle within him. I don't think he's great. I think he has a lot of learning and growing. I 100% think he is misogynistic and that he just has no clue about why the things he does and says are offensive. But I at least feel like I see a little bit of him trying. And maybe he has me conned. Maybe Brent has me completely conned. But I at least feel like he is trying, where there have been people in past seasons who would not give a shit about the feelings of the girls in the house when going after them or who they are nominated against. It doesn't negate the douchey things that he does. I'm just saying, if we're going to keep leveling up people and keep getting a better caliber of the generic stereotype that they put in, this Brent generic stereotype is better than a Caleb. So now maybe next season we can upgrade the Brent stereotype to, I am sure there is the jock out there who can, still be better. Brent is a total Rhode Island bro dude, but I understand what you're saying. I'm not trying to say that I don't think he's misogynistic or a douche to people. I 100% want him to go. I'm just saying there are also moments of where I feel he's being sincere and I feel he is trying to make sure that people are okay. And it just makes me then go, then Does he just not really get when he's being a douche and why he's being a douche? And I'm sure he doesn't. I'm sure if you are a Brent and you hang out with a whole bunch of Brents and you're all misogynistic and treat women like shit, then you probably don't have anybody in your life explaining to you why you shouldn't talk like that or act like that or do things like that. And that is why I say this is the part of Big Brother that I love. The part where people are forced to, after the show, watch themselves and how they are and act, and then go, wow, I did not realize that's the type of person I am, and have the opportunity to change and grow and become a better person. But moving along. Azza's still pissed this morning. She wakes up. She wants to target Derek F. She is not here for it. She is done. She doesn't feel she owes anybody anything in this game. She is like, screw these people. I'm going to do what I want. Nobody asked me. When it's all these people's HOHs, they just make the plans and come and tell us that we have to fall in line. So you know what? When I'm HOH, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want and tell people they need to fall in line. And of course, Big D is amping her up and like, that's exactly what you got to do. That's what you got to do. You do that. You do you. You got it. And I'm just like, oh, Lord. It's horrible. It's horrible. I think Azza's game is in jeopardy 100% because I think Tiffany is not going to forget. I think you have now shown Tiffany that you are going to play emotionally. That puts you in jeopardy with her going forward. I think it shows the house that you are going to be emotional. I think, unfortunately, how Azza handled the past day and a half, I think she can undo it. I think 100% Azza can undo it, but she has to work to undo it. If she does not work to undo it, I think it's going to be the Tiffany's, the Xaviers, the Kylans trying to get other people to get Azza out for them because they aren't going to want to do it. And they're not going to want someone else to do it. And I feel bad for her. Like, here's the thing. Again, I cannot be clearer. Dear future Big Brother players, hi. There's some confusion, okay? And I need to clear this up for you. I think you're confused. So let me clear it up for you. Big Brother is a game about lying and manipulating. It's not possible to play it with integrity. To the point of the word integrity, you cannot. You will have to lie. You will have to betray someone. You will have to go against your morals. So, you need to let go of the fact that you're playing the best friend, morality, honesty, integrity game. You're not. P.S. Here's another fun fact. You can still be a good person and play the game. Look at Tiffany last week. We don't hate Tiffany. I mean, we all love Frenchie, so it's oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. We all hated Frenchie. So it's not really a good example. My point is, Tiffany worked to get Frenchie out last week. It wasn't mean. It wasn't malicious. It wasn't any of those things. So my point is, you can play the game and have fun with the game. Just understand that there's not this high moral high ground that you're going to be on while playing a game about lying and manipulating people. So when Azza sits there and says, things like, I can't stand the fakeness, I can't stand it, it's not worth the money to me, then what? You know this game. Azza's a super fan. Azza's rattling off facts about Dan putting up Memphis and like all this. You know this game. You know this game is not about honesty and integrity. What game have you been watching? It's just not. You have to be able to keep your emotions in check. You have to be willing to split the throat of someone to get further. There's only one winner. So if you're not there, if you're there to be the most honest person, you're not winning. Now, is your goal just to get on the show to promote your social? I'm not saying Ozzy is doing this at all. I'm saying if your goal is to get on, promote your social medias, you want to get the check. This is an easy way to get your little verified check. You want to have sponsors offer you thousands of dollars for posts, and you don't really care about winning. That I get. Then that part makes sense. But I never understand anyone in that game who goes, I'm going to play with loyalty and integrity, and I'm mad at how fake everyone's being. The game is being fake. The game literally should be called Fake Brother. You're lying. Only one person wins. Your final two is planning to beat you and will be working against you. There's only, I don't get it. I don't get when anyone in that game tries to take the, that point of view. I see Heather says, I'm over the Jokers at this point. Me too. Here's the thing about the Jokers too. They're all over there like, woe is us, we're the victims in this, like, we keep getting targeted, we keep getting put on the block, blah, blah, blah. Hello? Brent's whole team was willing to throw everything to get Brent on the block. They gave up their own safety in the game to get Brent out. Now, granted, maybe those lines of communication aren't getting back and forth to each other, so we can't be that annoyed at the Jokers, but it's still the fact on paper. Brent's team had their meeting and agreed to throw things to get Brent out. So, like, Jokers, suck it up a little bit. There's a plan to get Brent out. Now, again, communication. They could have been named the Jacks, but obviously they had too many easy jokes, right? I'd put someone on hospice on the block, and when I win, I'd pay for a nice tombstone. That's not me. That is me reading an anonymous comment from chat. I mean, it's not anonymous, but I'm gonna make it anonymous. Here's the thing. I loved today when Big D before this POV was like, it's $750,000. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. 750. Here's the thing. You're clearly not living off ramen. You must have a car and not a mortgage and not a car payment. You must not know how much groceries cost. You must be one of those people that are doing good on the TikToks and have the TikTok pay for all your stuff. Because let me tell you, $750,000 is a lot worth it. It's so super worth it. It's the most worth it. So I don't get it. Bless these people's hearts. I love when they're like, I can make that in 2 years. I don't need this game to make that money. Okay, I'm going to do a little check-in. I want to have a BB23 check-in. When we're on BB25, I want each BB23 player that didn't win to pop onto our show, and I'm going to go, hey, did you make that million yet? It's been 2 years. Just wondering. Because I don't think you're gonna. And look, having the determination and all that, I am here for it. You go. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying the person that would so easily poo poo it away is probably not the person who's going to actually turn around and make it. That's all I'm saying. People who brag about money on the show seem to care about more about getting the blue check than winning the game. It's not a bad plan. Like, in all honesty, I always thought to myself, if I went on Big Brother, I would not be a good player. I would think that I would go in there, I would think that I would be cutthroat and slash all these people down. Yet I know I would not. I would get too emotionally invested. I would probably really try, but you all know this about me. I have a horrible memory. And out of sight, out of mind. And I would probably be so detached from my real life for so long that I would probably forget the things that I'm actually fighting for and be more concerned with the people in this house and ruin my own game for them, then come out, spiral into a horrific depression that would probably end me up in a mental hospital. And I would be like, it's not worth it. Until I remembered, oh, but I would get verified, and as long as I was remotely likable and didn't do anything bad, then I would just have all of these places throw thousands of dollars at me to be like, curved glass water. Oh, I love drinking this in the summer. Can I have my $3,000 now? I said I liked your water. And not have to do anything anymore. And get to eat at 5-star restaurants and travel on all these expensive vacations that none of us would be able to afford unless we're saved up for a million. I get it. If your goal is to go on, like, sorry, you know how we all used to be like, oh my God, the people that want to go on to be Instagram famous, we hate them? No, I get it now. Trust me, it makes sense. Imagine if you could just do whatever you wanted for your life and get paid a shit ton of money to do it. Brilliant, but it's slippery slope. Don't be hated. Don't say anything bad. So I actually understand the people that go on to do that. It does actually kind of make sense to me. So my point is, maybe I would play. Maybe I would play. I wouldn't play like a Frenchie, but I would take comfort in knowing if I didn't do well, hopefully I would come out and not be hated and it would help me in other areas, if that makes sense. And then I would just walk around on the feeds the whole time and just shout out players. No, I wouldn't. I would talk to all of you though, but that is basically where we are at going into now the live feeds, going into the POV. We have Whitney playing, we have Big D playing. Of course, we have the nominees playing. Whitney asked Xavier, "Do you want me to use it if I win?" He was like, "I want you to do what you want." Now, this is going to be interesting if Brent wins it and Whitney and Xavier had that conversation and then Xavier turns around and goes ahead and puts Whitney up. I think that could cause a lot of drama. We have a lot of potential for drama if Brent or Whitney wins. It would be even better if Brittany won. If Brittany won, removes herself, and then Whitney goes up, I think we would have a plethora of drama this week. Brent asked Big D to use it on him was another thing this morning, which makes no sense. Brent was actually pitching to Big D, these girls are not going to be able to protect you the way I am. So if you win, you need to use it on me. What? You can't honestly believe. And here's why Brent's an idiot. Why would you do this before the POV? Why? Why are you having these conversations right now? These conversations are only going to ruin your game. You can have these conversations after, but if you lose, you're giving all these people all the ammo to shoot you with. Brent has gone around. He has made a deal to every single one of us. He has offered this. He has offered that. Xavier can very easily be like, I'm sorry, Brent. I wanted to work with you, but I have found out that you have made 15 deals. You promised 6 people safety. You're going to Big D. You're going to this person. You're doing too much. Clearly, I cannot work with you and trust you. I need to get you out now while I have you on the block. Sorry, bro. Brent did too much. Brent should have shut up, went under the radar, let Brittany annoy everyone, flipping out. He shouldn't have said one word until after the POV was played. That is where Brent went wrong. And then if he lost, sure, do all of this. What does it matter? You're correct. You are correct in knowing you're the target. Then do all of this extra stuff. But he should not have done it until after the POV. Brent thinks he can get by in his good looks. I do not think he's good looking. He thinks he's good looking. I don't think he's bad looking. I'm not attracted to him. But I wouldn't say Brent is bad looking. But yes, he is clearly the type of person who is used to getting by on his looks and personality. And not for nothing, everyone. Not for nothing. I don't know. I don't know if I was given the choice, if I could flick a switch and go, you can have your personality or you can have the Brent personality and looks. Go. Here's the truth. The Brents of the world are the ones that make it. And that's the sad part. That there's not really a reason for a Brent not to be a Brent. And I don't mean on a dating in the way he treats women. I mean the willingness to do what you have to do and step on people to get to the top and be successful. It's the way, I'm not going to say all because there are, I'm sure, people who have become successful and done it the right, good, kind, caring way. But I think for the most part, the way people become successful is by splitting other people's throats. And, you know, that's just sad. The Brents of the world do that. Well, this is a great show. I'm going to encourage you all to go out and split some people's throats to get ahead. We will talk more about we will talk more about what happens post POV tomorrow. John and myself will be live with Caitlin Herman immediately following the Sunday night episode. So make sure that you tune in for that. However, I have a feeling that the feeds will be good after POV and probably good tomorrow in the morning. So you might be getting 2 shows tomorrow, meaning if the feeds are so great, we might do another live feed update show before the Sunday night show with Caitlin. If not, or if, you know, plans get crazy, we'll do the next live feed update show Monday. But either way, we are definitely live tomorrow, Sunday night, immediately following the episode, with Caitlin Herman. So that is exciting. It is Saturday the 24th. I will be live again probably later tonight. So make sure you check that out. I'm sure we'll be talking feeds wherever we are. And if any of you want to come and talk live feeds. I realize it's fun for me to just talk at you, but I would actually like if people joined for the live feed update show. I think it could be fun to have another one of you weighing in for the live feed update shows. So we will talk more about that. I'm going to focus on getting the website fixed for Monday as well, and then we're going to work on adding to these live feed update shows. We're going to have this all up and running. By jury. I can feel it. But thank you for all your support. You guys do keep all of these shows going, so don't forget, wherever you are watching, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, commenting, sharing the shows. Those are all great ways to support them. So thank you to everyone that follows, comments, shares, and all of that. The podcast versions of the shows will be up also starting next week as well. So that's all for now, everybody. I hope you all had fun. Yes, I see some of you asking. I will be bringing back we will be showing the clips on this show and the audio. Like I said, you guys know the deal. It's just me now. It's just me. I have to add one little piece in at a time. It's just the way I gotta do it. But we will see you all on the next show. Bye for now, everybody. Bye, friends.